taped posters. I have gone recently to using the fiberglass reinforced like packing tape like you can buy at Walmart or Kmart, and I will tape the posters to the table with the packing tape. I find it sticks and it doesn't tear like Scotch tape does. When kids walk by and bump the posters with their knees, they tear the Scotch tape or they fall down in the middle of the service and it looks kind of bad. So I've used the packing tape here for about a year and probably will continue. I haven't found anything better yet. Then I have another table. When I speak, I set up full of dinosaurs for the kids to play with, fossils. We have a man that works in my ministry that makes fossil replicas. If you want to get some of those, that would be a cheap way to get started. You know, for a couple $100, you could have a whole lot of fossil replicas. And then when the kids come up, it's like, oh, wow, here's a T-Rex tooth. And I find it really good to have stuffed dinosaurs. And I've got a Barney from Walmart and all sorts of things for hands-on display. You'll find if you target young children, second, third, fourth, fifth graders, everybody in the audience will love it. The adults will love it if you cater to the kids. Jesus seemed to do that in his ministry. The kids flocked around him. And I think if you attract the kids, you're probably doing something right. So I have my display consists of my posters and my books and my dinosaurs. Now I carry two large suitcases, one full of dinosaurs and fossil replicas, and I wrap them all in bubble wrap to keep them from breaking since I fly on the airplanes and the guys that handle the baggage cannot read. Even though it says fragile, they don't have any idea who that is. But I wrap them up and keep them away from each other so they can't break and pack them in the suitcases. We went to a luggage store at the mall and bought Delsie, D-L-S-I-E, I believe is the spelling, Delsie suitcases. They're made in France. They're made of plastic, sort of like PVC pipe. In fact, it is PVC, if I remember. And they were very expensive, like $170 each. But they're huge, and they're extremely durable, and they were guaranteed for 5 years. I've had mine for over 5 years, and I've probably replaced the wheels on them 8 times. They just send me free wheels because I travel many, many miles with mine, and I've been very pleased with those. They're hard shell, so it protects the contents, as opposed to a soft-sided suitcase. That's just an idea if you want to do that. So my timeline that I use, you can see on my videotape, is simply a couple of different color pieces of poster board stuck together. I, in a computer, typed out the words that I wanted and made the font the size that I wanted and printed it out. Some of the letters are so large I could only get half of the word on a sheet, and so you just simply tape the sheets together and then laminate over the whole thing, and nobody knows the difference. In addition to my physical displays, I have a laptop computer, and I plug it into a video projector. Now, there's quite a variety of video projectors out there. We have had several here at our ministry. You'll want to get something that has a pretty high number of lumens. That's the brightness of the projector. We chose, we have 2 of them that we use that have 1250 ANSI lumens. They're very good for audiences of even 3,000 or 4,000 people. We have no problem with people being able to see the projector because it's bright enough. If you get one that cost us $5,500, and we have an Epson 5300 is the model number, I believe. Then we have a smaller one that's much lighter and much smaller to carry, but it's only 850 ANSI lumens, but it's very adequate for crowds of up to, probably even 500 or 600 could see that one. There's not a lot of difference, but about $2,000 difference in cost. And when you go to put pictures, if you go with a laptop, I'll tell you right now, all of my pictures we have resampled is the word they use, where you change the number of pixels. If you look at a computer screen very closely through a magnifying glass, you'll see it's actually nothing but a bunch of dots. So the question is, how many dots are there? Because the more dots you have, the sharper the picture looks. As you get less and less dots, each of the dots become larger and they're kind of squared off, and the picture becomes pixelated is the word they use. So we studied it carefully and we looked at our options, and I'll assume you don't know much about this and explain it to you like you know nothing about it. But the number of pixels on a screen, on a computer screen, can be a variety of combinations. A very poor quality screen would be 400 high and 600 wide. That's called a 4x6. Then they've gone to a 600 by 800, which is much better. That's what we resample all of our pictures to, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So our our projector that we bought will project 600 by 800, called an 8 by 6 projector. The next step up is 1024 by 768. They call it a 10 by 7. We looked at both projectors side by side. We plugged 2 laptops and 2 projectors in and shined them on the wall. From 15 feet away, we could not tell the difference as far as which one was sharper, better image. As we got within 15 feet, we could tell that the 10 by 7 obviously was a better picture, sharper images, rounder corners, and more detailed. But the problem was the projector cost $3,000 more than the 8 by 6, and that means each picture is a bigger file in your computer. Your computer has to memorize all those dots, and so if you resample everything to an 8 by 6, you have about a half a megabyte per picture, whereas if you go with a 10 by 7, you now have nearly a full megabyte per picture. So you have to have a much larger hard drive in your computer to be able to hold all these pictures. If you get our CD, you would probably want to load the images for the pictures onto your computer's hard drive. If you run the show from the CD, it runs much slower. The machine can't read a CD as fast as it can read your hard drive, so it'd be better to load the pictures onto your hard drive and then run the pictures that way. If you don't have the money or interest in getting a video projector and you do get our CD, you have really 3 options. You can get a video projector, which is, I think, the best route, and you're done. The second option is to simply call it up on the screen and photograph it and make a slide. The problem is, it'll be 2,500 slides, and by the time you got done paying for all that camera work, you probably could have bought 2 projectors. A third option is to send the CD off to a professional like Slide Imagers in Atlanta, Georgia, and they will take the computer file and make a really sharp slide for you, but it costs about $3 each. And so you're talking, again, enough to buy 3 or 4 projectors now by the time you get all the pictures. Once you take the CD and put them onto your hard drive, you can open it up. You have to have a program called PowerPoint 97. You can open it up and you can alter it, delete it, change whatever you want, change the text, add more pictures. We have a scanner that costs about $200, a flatbed scanner, and when I see pictures in textbooks or newspapers or magazine articles, I just lay them on the scanner, scan it into the computer, then I doctor it up in a photo paint program where we get rid of cracks and tears in the paper or lines or mistakes. You can learn how to use that program. And then we resample the picture. I go under Image, Resample, and change it to 800 by 600. That way all of my pictures are the same, they look the same on the screen, and they only take up about a half a megabyte or less of computer space per picture. The entire presentation now, since a lot of it is text instead of pictures like Bible verses, things like that, the entire presentation is about 600 megabytes, which will still fit on 1 CD. It'll probably swell to 2 before I'm done here, but we're getting close to maxing out 1 CD. In addition to getting displays and visuals to use and filling your head with information, you also need an audience. How are you going to get people to come listen to you? When I felt like God wanted me to start this ministry, I had a few meetings lined up, but I spent an awful lot of time on the phone calling churches and begging for meetings. Hey, please have me come. I'm starting a new ministry. And you'll find that 95% of the churches, if they don't know who you are, they won't invite you. You get a very high failure rate when you first begin. After you do a few meetings, if you ask the pastors or